Good day. So today we are going to discuss about the basic rules and regulations of athletics. So number one is false start. So it is a false start if the competitor fails after a reasonable time to comply with the common set start before the pistol is fired. So di ba sa running events, maririnig din nyo usually on your mark, get set, go. So pag sinabi na on your mark, so the player should be on their own on their own lane na nakaposisyon na nakaload yung isang tuhod, and then pag sinabing on your mark, yan nakaluhod na, set, nakaangat na yung hips, go. So but see to it na yung player pag nag-fire na yung pistol, so that's only the time na tatakbo sila. So sometimes nagkakaroon ng false start because kung yung player ay nauuna na tumakbo dun sa pistol. So a pistol is a shot after a false start recalls the competitors. So halimbawa, yung competitors nag-shot pa lang ng pistol, tapos nauna na siyang nakatakbo. So yun, that is a violation. That is a false start. So i-recall lahat ng player and then magkakaroon ulit ng start. So the moment na nagkaroon ng two false start, yan dito tayo sa a competitors are disqualified after causing two false starts or three false start in the decathlon and heptathlon. So dun sa mga running events na yon, only two false start ang allowed in a two false start, so disqualification na ang ibibigay. But for the combined events, the decathlon and heptathlon, so they also give consideration. Kaya three false start before they can be disqualified. So next, obstruction. A competitors with gestures, runs across or otherwise obstruct another competitors is liable to disqualification. So di ba ang sabi ko na each player has its own lane. So kapag tumakbo ka na in the other lane tapos nagkaroon ng obstruction, ikaw yung naging reason kung bakit hindi siya nakatakbo agad, so you will be disqualified. Or sometimes there is an intentional na siniko mo yung player. So that is a disqualification. Kasi there is now the umpire. So yung mga umpire na yon are equally distributed to the track oval. So they are the one who see to it that the players does not do any violations during the competition. So after a disqualification, the referee may order the race to be rerun or in the case of a hit, permit any affected competitors to compete in the next round. So di ba yung nagkaroon ng obstruction. So halimbawa yung dalawang player, so yung isa will be disqualified and the other player na naapektuhan yung pagtakbo niya, so pwede magkaroon ng rerun, uulitin yung hit, or sometimes yung player na naapektuhan can also be joined to the next hit. Next, relay. So in the relay events, sorry. So I was not able to discuss this yung sa dito sa sa obstruction. Sorry. Okay, next for the obstruction. For the relays, for by 100 relays, 100-meter relays, races are run entirely in lanes. So di ba yung 4 by 100, there is a designated lane for each player. Kasi di ba, pag sinabi natin 4x100, each player will run 100 meter. So nandyan na sila nakaabang sa mga lane nila, nakaabang na sila dyan. So hindi sila pwedeng pa kaya pag start, mag-iipon-ipon sila before the start. Tapos after nung magkatipon-tipon, they are now going to go to their own lane. Kung number 1 player sila, number 2 or number 3 or 4 players sila, so lahat ng player ay tatakbo ng 100 meter. So in a races of up to 4x200 or members of the team other than the first runner may commence running not more than 100 outside the takeover zone. So meron tayong tinatawag na takeover zone. So dito sa in the 4x200 meter races, the first 2 stages as well as that part of the third leg up to the exit from the first bend will be run entirely in their lanes. So dito siya sa 4x400. Kasi meron tayong 4x400, meron tayong 4x100. So dapat yung sa 4x400 dapat tatakbo sila doon sa kanya-kanyang lane. So in the 4x400 races, the first lap as well as the part of the second lap up to the exit from the first bend will be run entirely in lanes. So kaya may yung kasing player na 4x400, lahat ng mga players ay nakaabang na doon sa sa kanilang mga lanes. Kasi at saka kapag naipasa na yung baton, hindi pwedeng agad-agad na umalis sila doon. So they should wait until all the players are have passed on their own lane. Kasi pag umalis yung mga player na yon, ang mangyayari, makakagulo sila doon sa mga tumatakbo na yon. So dito sa 4x400, dapat pwede silang mag-run yan entirely. Yung the first bend will be run entirely in lanes. So after ng 200, so pwede silang tumakbo dun sa ibang lane. So dito naman yan sa relay. So next, all competitors may break from their lanes immediately after they have passed the exit from the first bend. So yung tinatawag dito na first bend is yung 200 meter. The position of the teams at the start shall be retained at each takeover zone. After the lane have ceased to be used, runners can move to an inner position on the track as incoming team members arrive, provided this can be done without polling. So yun, after ng kasi meron tayong tinatawag na takeover zone or passing zone. So yung sa takeover zone na yun yung area kung saan pwede silang magpasa ng baton nila. That is at 20 meters. So yung passing of the baton should be done in the 20 meters passing zone. So in the event where the first part of the race is run in lanes, the competitors after completing this part are free to take up any position on the track. So yun yung sinasabi na but that is only applicable. This is only applicable to 4x400. Kasi yung 4x100, it should be run entirely on their own lane. So dito, after the first bend na tinatawag, after the 200 meter, yun na pwede silang tumakbo or free to run, free to take up any position on the track. After handling over the baton, competitors should remain in their lanes until the course is clear to avoid obstruction to other competitors. So yun na yung sinabi ko sa inyo kanina. And next, sa steeplechase naman, the Olympic steeplechase is a men-women event run over the 3,000 meter. So previously, this steeplechase is only intended for the men. But this time, it is also for the women. So it comprises 28 hurdles, 7 hurdle jump and the 7 water jump. So yung yung 3,000 yan. So meaning to say, players should be able to to run or to jump for the 28 hurdles kasi 400 meters yun, di ba? Tapos we have the 7 water jump. Yung water jump na yon is placed inside the track oval. Nakalagay yan doon sa gitna, sa may gitna. So kaya pag katapos nila na tumakbo, madaanan nila yung mga hurdle na yon, there is another hurdle and we call it as water jump. So the hurdles number 3 and 4 are positioned after the competitors have passed by on the first lap. Yung first lap. Kaya yung by the way, yung hurdle na to is sturdy ang hurdle na to. So it looks like yung ginagamit sa sa gymnastic na na equipment, heavy equipment. So parang ganun siya kalaki. So the steeplechase will be disqualified if he steps to either side of the jump or fails to go over or through water and or his foot or lead below the horizontal plane of the top hurdles. So pwede sila dyan mag-step over the hurdle sa steeplechase kasi medyo naman siya, matigas naman, unlike yung hurdle na hindi talaga pwede sila mag-step doon. Yung sa 110 hurdles, meter hurdle. But dito, pwede sila mag-step over the hurdle kasi medyo siya, sturdy. And ito, the players should be able to jump over the hurdles. So failure to do that, meaning to say the players will be disqualified. So a competitor is disqualified if he trails a foot or leg below the plane of the top of the bar or the hurdle at the instance of clearance. So dapat clearance. Yung legs na is over the hurdle, hindi yung sa ilalim ng ng hurdle. So if the competitors jump any hurdles not on his own lane. So ito naman, kung yung players na yan is magja-jump siya, di ba kanya-kanyang lane sa hurdle events? So if magja-jump siya dun sa hurdle ng iba, so that is a disqualification. So if he deliberately knock down any hurdle with his hands or foot, yan, a disqualification din yon. Halimbawa, itutulak niya yung hurdle or halimbawa, isisipain niya yung hurdle. So that is a disqualification. Kung if instances na paglukso niya dun sa hurdle na yon is natumba yung hurdle, it's because na tamaan siya nung yung rear foot. So it's just okay. But lang siya, nagkataon lang, hindi sa lahat ng oras ay ganun yung mangyayari. So for the field events naman, competitors compete in order in the order by lot. So bunutan siya. A competitors who unreasonably delay a trial is liable to have that trial disallowed and recorded as a foul. So yun, kung siya yung naging reason na naman na delay, so he will not be given a chance to do a trial. O unless competing in a simultaneous track event, a competitor's missing his turn is a field event is not permitted to take trial. So halimbawa, nagkaroon ng kasi yung mga players talagang ini-encourage sila na not only performing in one event. Sometimes the players can be a player in running events and sometimes a player in the field events, in the throwing or jumping events. So halimbawa, nagkaroon ng ng simultaneous event na to. So kapag nagkaroon ng missing his turn in a field events is not permitted to take trial. So kahit na na siya na kasi 'di ba kung ongoing yung yung competition tapos you were not able to jump for the trial, so it is considered as hindi ka kasali doon. So, kasi dito naman, sa mga jumping events na to, halimbawa, kapag na-clear mo na yung bar for the first time, so pwedeng hindi ka na mag-jump ulit. You will be waiting for the next height to clear the bar. So ganun lang 'yon. So it is not needed na paulit-ulit mo i-clear yung bar na 'yon. So after the second delay in the competition, he shall be debarred from further trials. Halimbawa, yung na kumukumpit pa rin siya dun sa other event, tapos sa delay, hindi siya nakapag-compete for the second trial, so matatanggal na siya dun. Debarred na siya from further any trial. That is for the field events. For the long jump naman, a jump is counted as a failure if the competitors take off from 2 feet. So 'di ba sa long jump, running broad jump, tatakbo ka, while for the physical fitness test, ang kailangan doon is both feet ang mag-take off, while here sa long jump, so it is not allowed to take off in both feet. So if he touches the ground or landing area beyond the plane of the upright without first clearing the bar, whether or not he makes a jump or knocks out the bar off of the support. So yung sa sa high jump ito, if he touches the ground or landing area beyond the plane of the upright without first clearing the bar, yan, or knocks the bar off the support. So sa long jump, wala namang bar. So this is intended for the high jump. Next, for the pole vault, if he knocks the bar off the support. Siyempre, kapag na-knocks niya yung bar na yon, it is a violation. If he, after leaving the ground, places his lower hands, moves the upper one, or moves the upper hand higher, or on the pole, it is not counted as a failure. If a competitor's pole, yan, so kapag siya, nag-moves yung kamay niya while performing the jumping, so it is not considered as a failure, not counted as a failure. A competitor's face, if he touches the ground, including the landing, are beyond the vertical plane through the upper part of the stop board with any part of his body or with the pole without first clearing the bar. So dapat maklear mo na yung bar bago niya matouch na yung mga areas na yon. So 'di ba kahit nga damit na mag-touch dun sa sa bar is not considered. So that is a violation or considered as a foul. So competition officials. So these are the competition officials. One referee for track events, one referee for the field events, and one referee for the outside stadium, and one chief judge, yan, for or more judges for the track events, and one chief judge and 3 or more field judges for each event. So yung pag sinabi natin mga judges, so sila yung mga nag-observe. Kung tama ba yung ginawa nila sa pag-throw, kung tama ba yung ginawa nila sa pag-jump. So sila yung mga judges. So next, we have also the one chief judge and 3 or more judges for the walking events. And we have the 4 or more umpires for the track events. So yung umpires mas marami, mas maganda. Kasi ito yung magbabantay sa mga player kung tama or mayo ng violations na nagibo ang player. So yun, kaya yung mga umpires na yon are also distributed throughout the track oval. So there is a need of more umpires if the event is 400 meter, 800, pero dun sa mga short distance lang, kahit na konti lang yung umpires, pero dun sa mga longer distance, so dapat mas marami ang umpires na to. Another is there should be 3 timekeepers. So 1 starter, 1 recaller, and then 1 starter's assistant or marksman. So yung starter's assistant marksman, siya yung tumitingin kung tama ba yung posisyon ng mga player, hindi ba nakakatapak yung paa nila sa starting line. And one lap scorer. Ang lap scorer, ito yung nagre-record kung ilang beses na dumaan yung player sa tapat niya. Kasi 'di ba kung longer distance 'yon, so sino magre-record kung walang lap recorder? Sino yung mag-guide dun sa sa player kung isang round na lang siya? Kasi baka naman marami pang round tapos mag-declare na siya na yung i-consider na winner. So that's the purpose of this lap recorder. So yung yung one recorder and one marshal, meron tayong marshal dyan na nag-a-assist sa mga player, and one wind gauge operator. So kasi yung sa running events, sometimes this can also be affected by the wind. Kaya merong dyan, operator para malaman kung hindi ba masyadong malakas yung wind, na the running time of the players might be affected. So one chief photo finish judge. So 'di ba high-tech na rin ngayon yung mga sa finish line, makikita nyo na. And then two assistant photo finish judges and one or more measurement judge or electronic. So yung mga one measurement judge na yon, sila yun naman yung yung mga nagbi-measure ng mga distance sa throwing events. So by the way, yung timekeeper na yon, yung yung nagte-take ng time, yung sa mga and more timekeeper. So sometimes if there is an 8 players running on the track oval, so sometimes there is also an 8 timekeeper. So each player has its own timekeeper. Ikaw yung magbabantay. Say halimbawa, yung sa lane number 1, ako yung magta-timekeeper sa lane number 1. Sa lane number 2, siya naman yung magta-timekeeper sa lane number 2. So may usapan na sila kung sino yung kukuha na nila ng time. But sometimes because of the advancement in the technology, nakikita na yan doon sa finish line, yung yung time ng isang player. And one announcer, so yan yung nag-a-announce kung sino yung mga nanalo o sino yung player number 1 in the first lane, number 2, and then one official surveyor, and one doctor, stewards for competitors, official, and press. And then representative judges should wear a distinct armband or badge. If deemed necessary, assistant may be appointed. Care should, however, be taken to keep the arena as free from official as possible. And then where women's events are held, there should be appointed a women doctor when possible. So maraming official dito sa athletics. Okay, so that is the end of our lesson for the officiating and for the rules and regulation. And thank you so much.